Hi guys, this is Badal.
This is Richard.
This is Rhiannon.
And this is Will. We are Pete's Pirates. We are robotics students from Loughborough University, Wolfson School of Meme. Some advantages of our robot is the 2mm thick steel ramp, and also the fact that it can turn and manoeuvre pretty quickly.
That was your first fight and the first fight for the robot?
First fight ever, yeah.
It's the team debut. It's gone well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that the robot moved. I was able to get some decent control before they ran into us, flipped us upside down, and that was history.
3, 2, 1.
We aren't the robot that had the least functionality because the blue one, Donovan, that one, the weapon didn't fire. So our robot was better than theirs. And
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. We had more functionality.
Yeah, our axe went. We did a few test fires just before the match started. And in those test fires, the welds on the axe broke, so the axe wasn't working.
And in moments of the doubt during the fight that you're not going to make it?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
As soon as I hit the lever, I was like, the axe is not going.
Yeah. And then our forks got stuck underneath our robot at one point, and so the robot was kind of all tilted up. That's not meant to do that. I tried to design around that happening, and it happened anyway.
My name's Alex Mordew. I'm a site reliability engineer, which has nothing to do with robots really.
Hi, I'm Pete. I'm the Chief Judge for the Fighting Robots Association.
Hi, I'm Tom Shields. I'm a judge at the FightFest, and I'm a project leader at Labman.
But yeah, I've been involved in robot combat since about 1998, and yeah, more recently I've been involved in building and competing in legal weight events. I've been asked here to judge the competition today.
It's been really, really good. There's been some very impressive robots out there, and some very impressive KOs. There's been quite a lot of very, very impressive, really, really novel designs. Very, very cool.
In my life, I'm a retired industrial electrician. My favourite robot throughout the competition today actually has to be telekinesis. And when it was first made, it was sort of like everybody was frightened of it, and it's coming on, but obviously the reliability sometimes just lets him down that little bit. It happens to everybody. When you just need that little bit of a push, it always seems to fall a bit flat.
The robot I have is it's been kind of tested and used quite a few times before, which is quite a good advantage because it means I've kind of proven it before.
So you had previous fights?
Yeah, so I've had quite a lot of fights with it before, and it makes it a lot less stressful as well, because a lot of the teams, obviously it's their first time fighting with their new robot, so they're, lots of work to do. They're still kind of busy working on them, fettling away. But yeah, so it's all ready to go, and I'm just looking forward to getting in the arena and smashing something.
Yeah, we've found that we've got some new armour on, and it means that we're gyroing more, so that when the robot tries to turn, it lifts on the sides, and that actually slows you down, slows the turn down. So he was out manoeuvring us a little bit at the start. We just got a little bit lucky. We both trying to what's called box rush each other, spin up nice and fast. The telekinesis, they'd put a smaller bar on so they could spin up quicker.
So it was over pretty quickly, probably quicker than we both expected. It was probably less explosive than we both expected as well. Yeah, basically I think I started off alright. I was kind of trying to get around the sides of him, around the back, and then somehow, it's a bit of a blur, but I ended up in the pit. I think I kind of bounced in it, or bounced off his robot, or off the wall or something. So yeah, basically just a bit of careless driving really. Annoying way to lose.
Hello, my name is Jamie, my team is Cali Creations, and my entry into FightFest 2021 is drumroll. I'm an engineering technician from Ayrshire, and I've been competing in combat robotics now for 17 years. Started off with small machines like this, and gradually over the years I've worked my way up to build bigger and badder machines.
Hi, I'm Matt Lampett, I'm an electrician, and I am the maker of Captain Jack's Spinner.
I have seen my first fight, which is drumroll. Good bot. Never fought him before, but it could go either way. Like I say, it depends on my weapon system.
He did come up to me about an hour before the fight and said, "Oh, I've got something special for you," which a lot of teams do, but I didn't think he would. I thought he'd be one of these that's just trying to get in my head, so I thought, nah, it'd be alright. In the pits, I saw him putting that on, big shield, and I thought to myself, do I change the setup? Do I keep what just worked? And I was like, that was the biggest battle in my head.
I was managing to deflect his disc. I had a plastic attachment in the front to try and keep his disc away. I then got stuck in the pit and thought that was me out. I managed to move my drum weapon and get off it, but from there he then hit me. Caught the robots, and I was trying to maybe be a bit more aggressive with the driving, but he just kept on clipping it again to the point where I was stuck, and then the last hit at the end just sent it into the corner, and that was it. Yeah, so my next two fights are against robots that don't have spinning weapons. They're mostly pushers and lifters, so I'm going to go with my drum weapon on the front, which is designed to smash them up. Get some nice low forks to go on the floor to get underneath them, so I'm going from defensive to full out aggression.
We had a motor to replace, we had a fuse to replace, we had a lot of stuff to get fixed. There was some kind of damage to either the electrical components or the motor because one of them would only move forwards, and the replacement one that we got would move backwards very slowly and forwards very slowly.
We removed the
Yeah, we decided to just take the weapon motor off because at least that's something we can salvage from it immediately. We can get a bit of weight off so we can maybe move a bit faster, which obviously was not the case. But also it just means that if the motor is not going to get damaged in any future fights, which it seems senseless to just have it on there and at risk.
A big round of applause
try not to die. I don't think I have much hope of beating many of the other robots up in the top tiers, but be good to see a fight between them and just see some stuff get wrecked.
Pause the fight, please. Pause the fight while we detangle the robots. So in this instance, because both robots are stuck together, we'll pause the timer, we will untangle the robots and then commence with the final 30 seconds of the fight. Three, two, one. Activate.
So I'm Isaac, I'm representing Euphoria, the robot, on behalf of Team Immersion, and we're from Newcastle upon Tyne. We're ready for today. The robot has been taken out of bubble wrap, thrown on the bench, and one of its various wedges is on there. We couldn't tell who we were going to be fighting against, so we had to take a lucky dip and probably pick the wrong one, but we'll have a think about whether we want to swap that over in time. So Euphoria's first fight today, it was going well until it wasn't. Diagnosing the problem is a bit of a funky one because it was clearly related to signal and the robot cutting out. Certainly I was not trying to have the lifter all the way at the back of the robot on purpose, or those times where it stopped. Clearly not the idea, but whether it's the receiver or just the transmitter that you control the robot with itself being just outdated or something, we can't tell. We've got the thing back in the pits. I've stood about 12 meters away and it drove perfectly, both weapon and wheels. It's just when it's in the box, it got stage fright. So we have really no idea how well it will run in the next one against a deadly spinning weapon that could do a fair bit more damage while it's motionless. But we'll try.
Yeah, I felt I was dominating the fight really well. I got some great hits in with the drum to do some damage to my opposition.
I made a massive mistake then. I've sat in this chair and I've told you about I've got a different setup. Well, that's my ultimate weapon out there setup. Big mistake. I should have just kept the setup I had and just roll with it.
But unfortunately the removable safety link, which is a key kind of safety feature of the robots, there was a little bit of space between the link and the top panel, just enough, and the force just caused it to disconnect and hit up, so it just lost power in the end.
Yes, interesting way to get redemption. Certainly I went into that fight and got my face smashed in. That is the first time it's faced a spinner like that. I thought, I felt myself going into the deficit pretty early on, but I thought, well, if we're losing the only way for it, I'm clearly not going to get this lifter back, that's just going in the bin. So let's at least just smash into it face first, and at some point I smashed into it hard enough that it unplugged itself. So we'll take those. Knowing that the next opponent is Captain Jack, it's not really the most flippable robot in the first place. we'll stick something new on the front of the robot and it will at least drive.
And it turns out with the new bigger disc that I've got, it's trying to spin the robot over the disc, and that obviously is making the disc hit the floor, and no matter how much I feathered the throttle on I just couldn't get it to stay down, so it just kept hitting the floor.
A couple of wins would be nice. If I can do more, then obviously that would be ideal. It's the first time a robot's competed, so it's really just a test to see what it can do.
Hi, I'm Ed from the Loughborough Fighting Robots Society, and will shortly be rejoining Labman as a robotics engineer.
It was a tough one. Obviously Ed's robot is a scary one. Very big weapon, very big reach, and an undercutter as well. And yeah, about the one thing we weren't expecting was for the fight to go 3 minutes. Ed deserved that fight, for sure.
Yeah, he drove really well. He dished out a lot of damage to us. I was very happy we kept going, but yeah, I think he deserved the win.
That was potentially the worst matchup for me in the entire tournament. I was really dreading getting Mat Robot. So I'm just really glad that it kind of works still. But obviously we got the win. But yeah, they made an incredible bot, and yeah, it was a tough one to beat for sure.
Yeah, I was trying to get him in the pit, and then the drive went, and then I turned my transmitter off, turned it back on again. It seemed to go for a bit, and then he hit me, and then it just got on again.
I guess it's fair to say you're going to go further to the finals.
Hopefully, I don't know.
That's 3 wins, undefeated.
I don't know what the points are looking at, to be honest. But potentially, if so, then that would be interesting.
I'm excited for maybe some more challenging fights that are a bit more destructive, because I've only had one proper fight, I guess, which was actually against a mobile robot.
Countdown, 8, 10, 9, 3, 2, 1,
I could probably talk for longer than the match actually lasted. It seemed to be a bit of a callback to my very first fight today, where I had the battle with Drivetrain, was doing nice and on, well, I think being on top with that one, but then Whether it's the transmitter being old or the receiver being in a dodgy place or just not being good enough kit, no problems at all in the last 2 fights. We're really pleased to have gotten past Drumroll and Captain Jack Spinner to make it into the playoffs, but against Clifford it decided not to participate.
Pleased to win, but it's a shame for Isaac really, because I think he had probably the more robust robot, but got a little unlucky maybe. Continuing with my sort of easy ride to the top today for some reason.
Well, that means you're gonna either face Conquer 3 or Kakuten. Which one are you scared of most?
It's a good question. I think maybe Kakute, but to be honest, they're both just terrifying robots with the potential to completely destroy mine, but I think it's just got to be spin up to full speed and smash into them and hope for the best.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, active. Do you think you'll be ready for the 4th place playoff? I'll give it a go. I apologise for the language to the children. Anyway, he's emotional, he's just lost £500.
More like 700.
£700.
It was going pretty well to start with, and I overturned a little bit, and he got access to the side of my tracks. And once he hit me once, it kind of all went downhill from there. He's got a very powerful weapon. After the track pod came off, I figured I might as well carry on as I could still move from the one track. I figured at that point it was going to be dead anyway, so might as well try and get the win. But didn't end up that way and ended up being rather expensive. Everybody likes a good fire. Yeah, we're all pyromaniacs. But yeah, it was a great spectacle. I just wish it wasn't my spectacle.
It was a fantastic fight, and so it all went downhill very, very fast. Hats off to Ed for keeping going. And he was managing to get some sort of controlled movement out of it really across. I'd love to see that back again at some point, because that's going to be amazing. One side working and the disc driving the other side.
I'm afraid, as much as I love Clifford, all my money would be on Conquer 3 there.
I'll be honest, reasonably confident. Conquer 3 has won one of the big competitions in the UK in the past, and I believe that we'll put up a good showing against him.
It went exactly how I expected it to, the final fight. Just absolutely destroyed by that vertical spinner. Like, exactly what I wanted, to be honest. Really good fight, big spectacle, big bang. Happy for Clifford to go out with a bang. Yeah, even though they're costly to repair. That's why you gotta be in it for the spectacle, I think. If you're trying to win and only win, it's boring and you'll be disappointed. So I think it's time to like rework pretty much everything there into something a bit more robust and designed for this weight class. I might just call it Clifford 2.
It feels fantastic. It's just nice just to be back in some competition again, but to win after what we've all been through. It's been a fantastic day, absolutely fantastic day. It was a very vicious fight. It probably didn't show, but we actually had the side armour snapped, so he got a good hit in on us. In the midst of that, before we managed to get a good one on him, but no, it was a vicious fight. All roboteers have the next version, and the next version is on the computer, and it's just waiting to get made. So the answer is yes. There's another version out there.
And then last but not least, winning £400. And more importantly, the title of FightFest 2021 Robot Fighting Champion is Conquer